Hey everyone, welcome to Multiphonic-a-Day. My name is Ben, I'm a bassoonist based in Chicago, and today is Thursday, March 26th, 2020. This is day 13 of my self-isolation, and this is episode 10 of Multiphonic-a-Day. Today's Multiphonics are dedicated to my friend Vinny LaMonica. Vinny is a colleague of mine from Northwestern. We were there at the same time, and he's a wonderful bassoonist and also a composer, arranger, educator, conductor. Seems like he can do pretty much anything. So Vinny sent me a message a couple days ago asking me to delve into those pesky underblown B and C multiphonics from Niggun. So Niggun is a solo bassoon piece by Philippe Hersant, and it makes heavy use of the underblown technique that I was talking about in my underblown F-sharp video, where you take a note in the tenor register of the bassoon and without changing the fingering, you lessen the air pressure and the embouchure pressure to cause it to dip into a multiphonic. So Vinny asked me to focus on a certain passage of the piece on the second page of the score near the middle, and I'm just going to play through that passage and then I'll talk about what's going on with the multiphonics there. So as you can hear, there are three different multiphonics in this passage. In order of appearance, they're underblown B4, underblown C5, and underblown B flat 4. So the challenge for me in this passage is the fact that this melodic material is constantly weaving back and forth from single pitches and multiphonics in a really rhythmic fashion. And one of the challenges of getting these multiphonics specifically to speak on time is that the embouchure manipulation required to get from the single pitch to the multiphonic is different, slightly different from pitch to pitch. So the amount that I need to do from F sharp is not exactly the same as G, as A flat, and so on and so forth. And so when I have a passage like this where there are a lot of these shifts happening rather quickly and they need to happen in a rhythmic fashion, it's really challenging to get it right all the time. So as I was talking about with the F sharp, I like to sometimes build in, I think of them as triggers, in slight changes in fingering to get the multiphonic to speak more reliably on time. So I'm changing slightly my fingering from the isolated pitch to the multiphonic in order to just get the response a little bit better. And so each of these multiphonics I have a little trick for that I'll share with you now. The underblown B, which, just to be clear, my standard B fingering is the C flick key, left hand 1, 2, right hand 1, 2, F key, and B flat. And actually notated in the score, Hersant here has put a slightly different fingering for the underblown multiphonic there, and that's adding the left hand pinky key, which I don't usually have down for the B because I find it makes the note rather sharp. So I'm adding that and I'm subtracting the B flat key in my right hand thumb, and so it sounds like this. And so what's nice about that is that each time I need to trigger the underblown B multiphonic, I have two fingers that are moving that can cause that to change the resistance in the tube just enough that it's easier to get the change in embouchure just right to get it to speak on time. So I'm really trying to rhythmically move both my pinky and my left hand pinky and my right hand thumb in a way so that I can get that to change right on time. And I would really recommend, if you're playing a piece like this or anything else that has shifts like this going on, that you do design little exercises like that for yourself of doing rhythms moving back and forth between the single pitch and the multiphonic. This is something that I've done a lot of the time when I'm learning music that involves this. So the next multiphonic is the underblown C5 multiphonic, and this is one where if I underblow my regular fingering for the high C, this is the rite of spring C, it doesn't produce a very reliable or satisfactory multiphonic. It sounds like this. So I actually quite like that multiphonic, but it sounds very different from the B, which is much more rich and chordal. So the regular standard, what I refer to as the standard C fingering, what I use is the high D flick key, right hand first finger, top resonance key, left hand first finger, top resonance key, right hand 1, 2, F, B flat. That, to me, that beating is just so different from the underblown B that it doesn't really work for music like this. And so what I found was that I can add my right hand trill key, this trill key up here, to that C to get it to speak in a more chordal fashion, and also for it to be more reliable because I'm using that as a trigger. So and it's a little bit of an awkward, like flappy hand motion at first, but I've gotten used to it, and I found that for that specific multiphonic, it's really helpful in terms of getting it to speak rhythmically. Now for the B flat, this is one that I struggled with for a long time. This is one of the least easy to underblow multiphonics. If I just use my standard fingering, so left hand 1, 2, 3, resonance key, C sharp key, A flick key, right hand 1, 2, F, it doesn't actually really work to just underblow it. So I just get one isolated subtone. And the fingering that I have for this, I think actually Vinny showed me when Vinny was learning this piece for one of his recitals, and I don't know if he figured it out on his own or if he got it from somewhere else, but the fingering is in the left hand the same, 1, 2, 3, top resonance key, C sharp key, and A flick key, and in the right hand I'm just using the second finger and the pinky A flat key. And that's not, it's a little bit of sliding that you have to do with your right hand pinky, but it's not bad to get back and forth from the standard B flat fingering to that. And as you can hear, it has similar characteristics in terms of its fullness, its richness, and the chordal quality to the B and the C. So those are just some tricks for this particular passage that I found that I think you can apply to any kind of playing where you're asked to move back and forth from an underblown multiphonic to the single pitch. Is, I would say, in addition to practicing the muscle memory of exactly how your embouchure needs to move and how you need to use your air, it's really helpful to have a slight change of fingering to trigger that in a rhythmic way, because it just changes the resistance enough that I can get it to speak more reliably on time, because there's nothing more frustrating than playing a passage like this and then having the underblown chord not come out, because it's just a really wonderful effect in music like this. So thanks for watching today. Please leave your comments, your thoughts, your requests below. I've got a couple more requests sort of in the tube coming in the next couple days, but I'm really curious to hear what you guys are interested in, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more multiphonics. Thanks.